Next item on the agenda is roll call.
Roy Estes.
Here.
Dennis M. Clark.
Here.
Becky Curtis. Here. Julie Osmond. Here. Alexander Williams.
Here. Next item is our first public participation. If you wish to address the council, please come to the podium. We'll begin in 5 minutes. Seeing none. Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda.
Item A, motion to approve the minutes of the December 5th, 2022 regular session. Item B, motion to approve the minutes of the December 20th, 2022 special session.
Chair will entertain a motion to pass the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? The electricity and out of town.
No, I don't think so. Hold on.
Do I need to remind you not to use your cell phone during the meeting?
It's not Sunday, so the power's on.
All in favor of passing the consent agenda, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. 5 in favor, 0 opposed. No appointments this week.
We do not have any appointments, but we do have positions available on the community center board and the cemetery board, so we are looking for people to fill those positions as soon as possible.
And we put those,
It's been advertised a couple of times, so I'm just bringing it up wherever I can.
Well, who would want to be on the cemetery board?
I don't know, that's my board, that's the fun one.
on to unfinished business. First, we have a second final reading of Bill 2022-49.
No, we got city manager's report.
Oh,
I know I messed up on the phone, but please don't tell me.
Please don't not recommend this.
City manager report.
Actually, it's pretty short and sweet tonight. Just a couple things to report on. Again, we did get notification from MOCAN regarding our downtown revitalization economic development grant. They are still reviewing the application, which is good. So that means that we're basically still in the running for that grant. So we'll continue. MOCAN did notify us that there will be some additional questions regarding the application. So staff will be working with them to get those questions answered.
Do you have those questions to know what they are?
I had a request today for some forms. It's just some supplementary things. It was nothing that needed, actual clarification from me, just to provide like our E-Verify memorandum of understanding. We're working through a direct deposit ACH issue that I don't want to fill out the form because I don't want to muddy the waters. We already have a form. So I'm going to call somebody tomorrow and see if I can get the number that they need for that portion of it. So, thank you. Houston, was there anything else?
No, I mean, that pretty much sums it up. DED still sees that as one application. We're still in the hunt, as I told the rest of the city staff. So I think we're in a good position. We'll continue to kind of monitor the application, see where it goes, but I'm very optimistic.
Have they dropped other applications that you know of?
No, I mean, we really wouldn't have any insight on that. Basically, we really only kind of know where our application is, and then once they make the announcement, we'll be able to kind of see where all communities scored. But yeah, it's pretty much a black box from here, except for what's going on with our application. So.
Okay.
The only other thing to note, again, Carmen has been working on getting everything ready for our financial audit, which will be coming up here soon. Again, we've had contact with our new auditor with the County Solutions. We've been in contact with him today, so we'll be working on that. So that, again, there's a lot of work that goes into that, and again, it takes quite a bit of time and effort on staff's part. And again, we'll be working on that next couple months. And that is all I have.
Thank you very much. Any questions, Carmen? Because I know how exciting that time is. Now, unfinished business. First, we have a second final reading on Bill 2022-49.
Bill 2022-49, an ordinance of the City of Cameron, Missouri, authorizing a contract with the Cameron Ambulance District for the Public Safety Dispatch Center to provide dispatch services for said district.
Chair will entertain a motion to pass Bill 2022-49.
So moved.
Second.
Moved in second, discussion. This housekeeping,
This is second reading, unless you guys have anything else that you wanted to ask. Rick would probably be able to provide answers.
any questions?
Nope, we had quite a few
All right.
around.
Dennis M. Clark.
Yes.
Becky Curtis.
Yes.
Julie Christmas.
Yes.
Alexander Williams.
Yes.
Roy Estes.
Yes. Next item is new business, and we have a first reading of Bill 2023-1.
Bill 2023-1, an ordinance of the City of Cameron, Missouri, updating Chapter 7, Motor Vehicles and Traffic of the City of Cameron Code regarding parking and driveways.
Chair will entertain a motion to pass Bill 2023-1.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
So this was precipitated by complaints from citizens and contractors and real estate professionals. They thought we should kind of modernize our parking situation, widen the driveways, and get rid of the parkway parking regulations. We took it to the planning and zoning, and this is what they came up with. Staff recommended.
Is this just for a specific spot, or?
No. It's right out of the zone, the ordinances for everywhere in town.
Okay.
So allow a little bit wider driveway. I think the original regulations are from a time when people didn't have the cars they have now, that kind of thing.
I read this and I didn't totally get it, so.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'd like to have some help on
All right,
this.
what specifically, or where would you like to go with it?
Well, you said drive, the first thing is.
Okay, it is two separate things, yes.
Okay, so
okay.
just pick one and
Yeah,
let's go.
all right. Access management is the part which is the driveway width. This would allow for a wider driveway. It also removes the maximum width for a commercial drive, which was something that we actually ran into at the Love's Travel Plaza, because the trucks couldn't get in with our maximum width, so
So
they.
you had to.
Right.
You actually had some trouble with the Ashland as well, because I know that they weren't real happy with was I not correct? Yeah, because they have semis there and they weren't happy either.
Similar situation,
Yes.
yes. So that's the access management portion of
Okay,
this.
never heard that word, was,
So if we
Yep.
change that,
Mhm.
then are the people that don't have those sides of driveways going to change theirs to the size that you're indicating?
Okay, so the existing driveway that's wider already, you mean, or?
Well, I guess you'll have to read it again, because that's what I thought you said was to make the driveways wider.
Allow them to make them.
So they don't have to
No,
make the
no,
driveways
no.
wider.
There's still the minimum size is still 10 feet.
Okay, does this have anything to do with the Airbnb?
No,
Okay, this one does not.
nothing.
Okay.
This was in public
I
hearing.
just wanted to make sure, because I knew that they had a problem with that also.
Yeah, yeah. No, they needed a parking plan, but this has nothing to do with that.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Then the second part is something that's called parkway parking. You read that, you can get a special permit to allow you to park in a specific place as long as you meet certain criteria. Where you already have to meet those criteria. You can't park on the grass, which is one of the criteria. You can't block the sidewalk, which is one of the criteria. And you can't block the side triangle, which is also one of the criteria. So those people would come down and get a special permit to allow them to park, not breaking the rules that we already had. And it doesn't sound like a big deal until you start to look at certain properties that literally have no place they can park. And,
I had to get one of those a long time ago.
and so that became cumbersome.
I didn't have a sidewalk on that side of my house, and my driveway was in the city's portion of the right-of-way, so I had to get a permit to park in my driveway.
Wow.
Yeah, it was silly.
What do you mean about the triangle?
Yeah, I did.
The side triangle.
What does that mean?
Okay, at a corner where two streets meet, 35 feet back from each direction makes a triangle.
Okay.
You can't put anything in that, they call it side triangle, because it could impede vision.
Can't
Okay.
see
Come to
around
the
the
stop
corner.
sign and there's a
Okay.
sign
Gotcha.
or, yeah,
Okay.
so.
So people are actually parking there or not?
The problem actually what had precipitated it was a previous code enforcement officer was looking for people that were parked in this parkway and then started, sending them notices. Well, they don't have anywhere else to park.
So they have to get
So
a,
if they don't have any place else to park, then where are they gonna park if you don't allow them to do that?
That's-
But you're going to allow them to park
With a
in the
permit.
triangle with
No,
a
no, no.
special permit?
No. There will be no special permit. They will not be able to allow it to be able to park in the side triangle. They can't park on the grass. Those are all already in our parking rules.
Then where are they gonna park? If they literally don't have any place to
Well,
park.
this will give them somewhere to park. Because they can
Okay.
park on that parkway, which is a made-up term I've never heard.
Okay, what is a park, then what is a parkway?
Let me read it to you. On a parkway, which shall mean the area between the right-hand side of the roadway and the adjacent property lines, unless a parkway parking permit has been obtained from the city manager, that you can't park there. Parking permits shall be issued for locations where parking has been in continuous use since before January 1st, 2005. Parkway parking permits shall not cause safety issues and may be granted if the requested area and/or parked vehicles do not obstruct the sidewalk, side triangle, access and use of infrastructure improvements, either current or future, and must not diminish visibility resulting from road elevation changes.
So like in my situation where I was, so
I
like
need a
what I
picture
was, where my car parks in my driveway, that's actually only a little bit of my property. The rest of it is city right of way. It's road right of way.
It's a spot between the edge of the road and where your property line starts.
I'll tell you what, let's do it this way. What property are we talking about? That might
There are
help.
several, but I'll give you a good example.
Okay,
Down Main Street.
Main Street.
Excuse me, Walnut Street at the Come and Go.
Okay, okay.
Across the street is a commercial building. That
Yes.
commercial building occupies the entirety of its own parcel.
What do you mean by parcel? Its own entirety of it?
It's property, meaning inside the easements.
Okay,
So it can't park anywhere around it. There's literally nowhere for that business to park.
on
And
its
even-
own property.
on its own property.
And we'll go one further, in the street in front of it, which I believe is 4th Street, is a no parking street. So now you
Okay.
have a citizen, I don't know what they're supposed to do.
Okay, so now where are they gonna park? You said that whatever we did to this was gonna
They'll be
be...
able to park, they'll be able to park on the side.
So they haven't been able to park there. Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
They haven't been able to, but now they will with a parking permit.
they won't need the
They
permit.
don't need to.
Okay.
We're getting rid of the permit. We're letting
Yes,
people
the
park there without the
permit's
permit.
The permit's out. To
permit's-
qualify for the permit, you have to not break these specific rules, which are all also already
In our-
parking rules.
So we're getting rid of the permit, everything else stays the same.
What essentially is here is something that we've been looking the other way about because it's not very enforceable. But instead of looking the other way, let's just get rid of it.
Oh, that'll keep a code enforcement from doing tickets on it. Is that what you're also saying that would happen? Okay. So you're cleaning up some codes.
Oh, definitely.
Good, keep it up. We need
Well,
more.
there's a long way to go. believe me.
All right, let's keep going. We're ready.
Okay, that helps clarify it. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It was
I
an
needed a
education
picture.
for us, thank you.
Anything else?
Okay. All in favor of passing bill 2023-1, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. 5 in favor, 0 opposed. Next item is the first reading of bill 2023-2.
Bill 2023-2, an ordinance imposing a sales tax at a rate of 3% on all tangible personal property retail sales of adult use, non-medical marijuana sold within the city of Cameron, Missouri pursuant to Article 14, Section 2.6 subsection 5 of the Missouri Constitution, subject to the approval by the voters of the city at the general municipal election to be held on April 4, 2023, designating the form of ballot and directing the city clerk to provide a notice of said election.
That's very good. Chair will entertain a motion to pass Bill 2023-2.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Again, what you have before you is an ordinance calling for the general election to be held in April. Again, with just the question asking, shall the city of Cameron, Missouri impose a sales tax of 3% on retail sale of adult use non-medical marijuana? There has been, MML has tried to put together some projections as to potentially what that could generate for the city. They were saying their best guess is an average that a dispensary would bring in $150,000 of additional sales tax revenue. Obviously, that's a statewide average based on the number of dispensaries and not. So, again, I think that's a little optimistic for Cameron. I don't think it will be in that amount of $150,000. But again, at this point, we really don't know. It's just a projection. But like I said, so what this ordinance would call for this question to go before the voters in April.
How did we end up with 3% as opposed to 4.2?
3% is what the Constitution authorizes.
Okay, thanks.
And also to piggyback on what Zach said, to generate $150,000, the dispensary would need to generate $5 million a year in retail sales.
I'm hoping that's optimistic.
Yeah, but it's non-medical versus medical. So if anybody still has any need for medical card, it's hard.
Any other questions?
No.
All in favor of passing Bill 2023-2, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. 5 in favor, 0 opposed. Next item, we have the first reading of Bill 2023-3.
Bill 2023-3, an ordinance for the city of Cameron, Missouri, authorizing the general election to be held on 4 April 2023, fixing the polling places of said election, and directing the city clerk to cause ballots to be printed and election supplies procured for said election.
Chair will entertain a motion to pass Bill 2023-3.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
We have 2 candidates for 2 openings, and I will be certifying the election in Clinton and DeKalb County. We are in Caldwell County, but we do not have any registered voters in Caldwell County, so we save the money of not having to pay for an election in another county.
Good.
Excellent. All in favor of passing Bill 2023-3, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. 5 in favor, 0 opposed. Next item is our second public participation. Anyone wishing to address the council? You can come forward now. Seeing none. Next item is miscellaneous comments from the staff. Secretary. Eric, welcome. It's the first one, right?
Yes, sir.
Tim, Danny?
And you guys' package, good evening, council, and happy new year. In your council package, you should have received information regarding some draft planning and zoning meeting minutes concerning a conditional use permit for a bed and breakfast. That will be coming to you guys at the next, for first reading at our next city council meeting. I just want you to have what was discussed during those meetings to give you a heads up. So just be on the lookout for that. Also, just a reminder, Great Northwest Day is February 7th and 8th. I am the chair for Great Northwest Day. For all you guys that don't know about Great Northwest Day, it's an opportunity for county coordinators and legislators to get together to basically identify priorities, concerns for the Great Northwest region. And we've come up with more than a couple priorities for this year to be able to go down and talk to the senators and the representatives. Being broadband, education, infrastructure, child care, workforce, and housing, trying to see what they can do to help the Great Northwest region to thrive. So if you guys are interested in attending that, it's a good event. We have representation from the city. We have representation from the chamber, EDOC, who go down and meet with the legislation. Terry is a part of that ordeal as well. It is a great event. We encourage you guys to sign up. If you want to go, just let me know. I can get the information to you guys to sign up. It is a $75 registration fee, early bird. After January, end of this month, it goes to $95. And that's all I have.
If we could go back, I could give you an update if you'd like.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We love that.
So regarding the priorities for roadway paving and construction, we've looked at Griffin Road being the highest priority, looking at spring 2023 for completion. Northland Drive, fall 2023, Harris Road, spring, summer 2024. In particular, Griffin Road update, we're coordinating right now utilities, make adjustments along that the Griffin Road corridor, and also looking at the easements that are required to be adjusted as well. We're working with a geotechnical engineering firm to complete the testing of soils along the alignment to make sure that we've got the right paving design. They're going to provide a recommendation. I talked to them today. They're back from Christmas, New Year's break, and I've developed a preliminary schedule for 2 phases. The first will be preliminary grading, followed by final paving and grading completion this spring. The next kind of priority that we were looking at from the council was sidewalk improvements. We looked at the top 3 areas and placed the top priority on Grand Avenue after getting feedback from the council. So we've also developed a funding strategy for that, which we can report on next council meeting. Another thing that we're doing now is we're looking at the long-term upkeep, maintenance of the roadways. They're deteriorating rapidly from my estimation as a newcomer here. And really the reason behind that is severe drainage issues throughout the city. So that one of the things that I started from the beginning is working with MoCan, Thank You for Your Help, Houston and Company, to get 100% grant through DNR. It's through the 604B Water Quality Grant, which sounds like it's not well placed, but there is a category that allows for storm drainage. This would be 100% grant up to $50,000. So what we would do is the part 1 would be to utilize city staff to be able to categorize or catalog and get the XYZ coordinates for system components in the field. And then based upon that, we could input that to a consultant, develop a model, and then we could look at the existing system and then move toward build out to determine what we've got to get us from existing conditions to build out and where our deficiencies are. The next item was strategic communications. We're proactively managing the narrative now by really providing regular releases. So that's one of the things we're trying to do for Public Works, is make sure that we've got an informed public as well as council. And then we have a tentatively planned, and we're still working this, but the last week of January we have a Public Works open house, basically an opportunity for the public to meet and greet Public Works, me, talk about things they have, and really kind of kick off a new phase of strategic communications. I think finally, one of the things that I did is I reviewed the prior strategic planning, and given my background in planning as well as engineering, it looks like we're really deficient in terms of determining our strategy going from where we are today, where we're going to build out, and what infrastructure do we need. The reason why that's important is being able to look at individual infrastructure master plans and align them with the strategy, the strategic vision of the council. Right now, there was this great disparity there. So that one of my aims is, we don't necessarily have to have a consultant. I could help facilitate a workshop and could do something that's really practical and not just something that's just a paperweight that gets thrown away. Not just. So in summary, that's kind of where I've been the last almost 30 days, and then we'll give you a more in-depth report on the 17th.
Thank you.
Thank you
Very
very
much.
much. Thank you.
And all those items. Dan? Chief? You got anything tonight?
No,
Oh, there's the other chief. They're hiding now. Steve? Carmen?
Have a nice evening.
Counselor?
Nothing.
Shelley?
The next meeting will again be on a Tuesday. It'll be Tuesday, January 17th, because Monday is a holiday. And we do have notice of MML's legislative conference coming up in February. It starts on February 21st, which is a Tuesday in a council meeting. So, yes, so.
What do you do about that?
Yeah, it's usually a week ahead, so I don't know why they moved it back or if it's a permanent move, I don't know. So,
Who do they think is going to show up?
well, everybody that doesn't have meetings on that day.
Yeah, it would be like
A lot of
significant
that,
portion of their,
yeah.
people.
Anyway, that is coming up. If anybody is interested, we'll let you know.
If people are interested in meetings on that.
Yeah, could we move it if we use it?
Yeah, we could talk about that if people want to go. We can move it to.
Well, we have some new legislators this year. It wouldn't be bad to go down there and have a little chat.
And speaking with legislators is one of the things that I have to do to go to the next level of my certification. So,
Is something we can go ahead and decide tonight?
yeah, if you want to.
Maybe I can
My
work
next
on it.
question would be, how many, is anybody on council that
I usually like to go. I didn't get to the last
I've
year.
never been in one.
Okay.
Let's see.
It's not a problem with that.
I'm gonna pull out my phone because that's where my calendar is. So it was scheduled for when? The 17th?
It's February 21st and 22nd. Yes.
So the first will be the 6th and 21st. So would you, is there,
We could do it next Monday if you wanted. Move it back. Okay, let's do that.
yeah, I won't be here, you guys can have a great time. I mean, that's fine. So let's see, could we go on the 27th and the 6th, 2 weeks back there?
We could look as we get closer to time and pick a different date. We'll kind of see what the agenda looks like and what we need to, again, so the 27th, we're getting pretty late in the month. Like I said, we might have to, well, like I said, we'll wait and see what the agenda looks like, and if we need to squeeze in a second meeting before that, then we can possibly look at that. But we can look at that, now that we know that we have a couple of council members interested in going, we can
Yeah.
start planning on that.
I'll follow
You
up
could
with
be a
you
perfect
guys.
vote, and have absolutely nothing on the agenda.
I'll follow up with you guys later this week to see, who's scheduled and allowed, and we'll make some more
Right.
in-depth plans then. Now that I'm looking at my calendar, I also want to remind everybody that this coming Tuesday, the 10th, is our last municipal court day in this building.
Wow.
We still have a lot of work to do, but
It's very serious, it's a monumental step.
it's still in the process, so.
Has it been going remote?
Well, yes and no. We find that there's, Oscar does reports and finds cases that are missing things, but we had to switch over from the old JIS system to the show reports, and that's what a lot of the problem is that we can't fix, but there's still hundreds of cases that have to be looked at, be fixed.
Who's doing all that?
Shannon.
above and beyond. She's really doing a lot of work.
Okay,
We contracted with Joe Gagnon, who's going to be the city's prosecutor at the county, and he's coming up and going through our old warrants, the old warrants that, especially if they don't live here, they're old, they're never coming back. We're taking those out of the system to clean them up. So it's just a lot.
So you have to have disposition on everything.
Not everything. Some things will be forwarded onto the new court. It's a lot of work, and the new court has a lot to take on as well. So I will be sending them to your package. Sorry, not sorry.
Anything else, sir?
That's it.
Perfect. All right, next item is miscellaneous comments from council.
Thank you. First, I want to say welcome to Erie. Glad you're here. And just glad the Christmas season's over. Everyone seems to have made it healthy and through it. So, that's it.
Welcome, Eric. Glad you're aboard. Other than that, I have nothing.
Well, I got a few things actually. The first one's a question. The first one's a question. We wouldn't have decided what the marijuana tax goes towards. Do we do that after we do the final reading?
Yes, I talked.
Yes. Okay. I just want to make sure we weren't supposed to do it tonight.
No.
I don't want to go home and not do it if we were supposed to do it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was my first one.
We don't have to do it at all. We don't have to.
Well, I know we don't have to, but I'd like to have the conversation. So I just want to make sure that tonight wasn't the night we were supposed to do it. The second one, actually, I forgot it wasn't a big deal. So the last one, I wanted to say thank you to city staff members that worked on Christmas, and I wanted to go more than just saying thank you. I wanted to name them. So Shelley gave me a list of everyone who worked Christmas Day. Our police department, that is Sergeant Shane Stevenson, Sergeant Eric Elshie, Chris Proctor, Kyle Glazebrook, Bryce Groom. No call on Christmas on the fireside, but had 7 calls on Christmas Eve. So thank you to the fire department. Unfortunately, I don't have names there. For dispatchers, Stan Hendricks, Susie Lanham, okay. Barb Holtz, Kylie Eads, Ellie Milborn, and Christina Smith. And then at the water plant, we had Joe Whitaker, Chris Miller, and Ripton Green. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, guys.
Yes.
That's it for me. Thanks.
Julie?
I don't have anything, thank you.
Happy New Year to everyone. I thought the city handled our first snow day pretty well. Oh, I did have a question. I don't know if this is a good spot to do that. Do we have our brine system up and running yet? Our new one?
Yes, sir. As far as I know, it is active. I believe that we have that much, but I'll confirm.
Okay.
I believe that I'm sure we have that, but.
I mean, I know I have to work at 30 below here.
I'm sorry.
I know it doesn't work at 30 below windshield.
Yeah,
But
we have, we did salt the roads early and as a kind of a preemptive approach, but it didn't really have any usefulness until we got higher traffic in the roads and then the sun came out.
thank you very much. Same thing, all city staff that had work this weekend, or Christmas and New Year's, are also always out in force, missing time from their families. And our fire people have the radio at their side. Building calls also. It's going to be a great year. people will have the notion and the attitude of we're going to make it a great year, we can have that. It's a great town. It's a great place to be for the holidays. Get out and help somebody. Volunteer for something. Stay active. Make Cameron what it can be. That's our goal. That's all I have. All right, next item is executive session. Chair will entertain a motion to move into executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Becky Curtis.
Yes.
Julie Osmonds.
Yes.
Alexander Williams.
Yes.
Roy Estes.
Yes.
Dennis M. Clark.
Yes.